Warning: this video explores mature themes that some viewers might find disturbing. If you or anyone you know needs help, please visit the link provided in the description. Thank you. Your vision returns slowly. You feel dizzy. You're sitting on the floor and you cannot see much. It's dark here. You're alone and a thick mist makes it hard to see more than a couple of meters in front of you. You get up and almost trip as your head spins. As you take a moment to regain your balance, you hear something behind you. A crunching, crackling sound. You turn around and see a man hunching over. He's wearing robes that suggest priesthood, but you don't know the religion. He's working on something with his hands, pulling and cracking. Just as you start to move, the man turns his head, revealing his blood-red mask. But before he can see you, you quietly step away into the mist, leaving the crunching sound behind. When you feel you've reached a safe distance, you pick up the pace. This doesn't make any sense, you think as you move quickly through the fog. There should be walls here or furniture or something, but it's a giant open space. Weirdly, you can still hear the crunching sounds, even though you should be far away by now. That's when you hit something and your feet get stuck and trip over something on the floor. You get up slowly. There's someone laying on the ground. It's the preppy guy in the Fred Perry shirt from the stag party. "Are you okay?" You whisper as you gently turn him over to see if he's breathing. You stare into a pair of large black eyes as you put his head on your lap. But it is not his head. There are large staples holding the head of a pig on the severed neck of the man. The pig's tongue rolls out of its mouth, swollen and blue. The undead eyes roll back into their sockets as you lift the head. Then, the man's arm twitches, it grabs the pig's head and starts tearing and clawing at the wound. You feel the blood rush roar in your ears and your breathing speeds up to a frantic pace. You stand there, shaking, until you realize that the crushing sound behind you has stopped, and that the footsteps are coming closer. You need to move, now. Once you've put enough space between you and the stalker, you start looking for a hiding place somewhere in the misty darkness. You slip behind a door. This will surely work as a hiding place, you think. The man in the mask passes you, his breathing heavy, and it seems like he's sniffing the air as he searches for you. It's now or never, you think as you jump out of hiding to assault your stalker. You throw yourselves towards the man, your heart racing, striking him as hard as you can. Unfazed by your blow, the man comes at you, grunting and snorting. Adrenaline kicks in and your vision tunnels. In the hazy mist, his figure appears to be made of metal, tubes, cords, and cables intertwined with exposed muscles and tendons. Everything is held together by crooked hooks and steel wire. Is this real? Your mind tries to rationalize what is happening. He twitches robotically and lunges forward again, revealing his face to be a grinning skull half covered by a rusty metal mask. He's just too powerful. He slashes and slashes at you until a blow finds purchase. You stumble back, duck out of the way of the next one, and strike the figure. You hit hard enough to break skin, and a red-black slippery fluid splashes onto the floor. You struggle for your life and both exchange blows. Your next attack crushes one of the creature's eyes. It hangs limply from its metal socket before the creature rips it out with a growl. You seize the moment, reach in, and rip out some of the wires that are holding together the creature's shoulder. They snake around the being as if they were alive. You take your other hand and pierce the creature's chest as you see something withering around inside its body. Your final blow lands on the creature's neck. It gurgles, and it falls to the ground with a heavy, metallic thud. You catch your breath and feel the adrenaline pulse through your body. On the floor is the man in a latex suit and the red mask. The creature you fought is nowhere to be found. His hand is still clutching your wrist. You must have caused damage to it during the fight because it's a mess of flesh and bone. You start to sweat and your stomach starts to churn. The bloody hand reminds you of your own mangled hand as you were pulled out of the pool. The way your parents looked at your hand, it was not what you had expected. You're standing in an open hallway. There's the sound of running water from an open doorway to the left, and a heavy stream billows out. This seems familiar, and you become sure as you hear a woman humming a tune from within the room. Mother? You think as you slowly walk up to the doorway and look inside. The mist becomes warmer and more humid as you approach. You're 4 years old, standing in the doorway to the bathroom, watching as your mother puts on makeup. She has her back towards you and is concentrating on applying mascara while looking into the bathroom mirror. Your father is in the shower. Warm, thick mist and the green shower curtain obscure him from your view. Mommy, you ask? What's that place where we can be together and happy all the time? Oh, sweetie, she says. You can't wait to go, can you? We're going as soon as we can. But where, you ask impatiently. To the tree, sweetie. The tree made out of metal. That's where we'll find our true purpose, she says while putting on lipstick. Then the room starts to fill with the steam from the shower. And when the mist clears, the scene is gone. But you are standing in a narrow corridor with a stained linoleum carpet and crumpling wallpaper. Fog obscures your vision, but you can make out a door to the left. As you approach, you hear voices and music. It's classical music, soothing violins and a piano playing in a major key. You don't know the piece, but it sounds very familiar. You draw closer to the opening. A few rays of sunlight spill in from the doorway and illuminate the mist. It's your mom and dad again. I'm dreaming, you say under your breath, and you slowly approach to look inside. It's Sunday morning, and you're standing in the doorway to your parents' room, wearing your blue pajamas with red dinosaurs and holding a stuffed rabbit by its ears. A thin white curtain moves slowly in the breeze, carrying crisp spring air into the room. Your mother sits on the side of the bed. Your father is in bed and he hides under the white and blue linens as you appear. It's a game you play. He hides and you try to find him. But if you get too close, he catches you. There you are, sleepyhead, your mother says with a smile. You go over to her and she lifts you up onto her knees, tickling you as you try to pull the covers off of your father. Your mother hugs you close and you all giggle. Oh, I wish every morning could be like this, she says with a sigh. Me too, you say, and hug your mother back. There's a way that we get that, you know, she says happily. There's a place where we can be together, and every morning would be like this. Would you like that? Yes, Mom, you say without hesitation. Where is it? We'll take you there when you're a bit older, she says, and kisses you on the cheek. Then your father's arm slides out from beneath the covers and catches you, drawing you in as you both laugh out loud. Then you notice a faint stench of decay, and the scene fades. You find yourself staring into an empty broom closet. You've always cherished that memory, and you're glad you were able to relive it so vividly, even if you don't understand how that is possible. You stand here holding onto the memory for a moment, and that's when you realize that you've never recalled what was said that time before now. That place, a place of bliss. I hope they find it, you think, but can't help feeling that if they did, they left you behind. There's something that feels wrong about the memory, though. Was that really what happened? That rotten smell, it doesn't fit the memory. You shake the thought as you get the feeling that you should get moving again. The mist clears, revealing a set of stairs at the end of the corridor. Each step of the descent into darkness makes the wooden boards creak. If anyone's listening, they can surely hear me coming, you think, holding your breath with each sound. There's a faint glow coming from the bottom of the stairs, and you let out a sigh of relief as you see the empty room below. A naked light bulb glows weakly, giving an orange glow to the soft brown carpet and the yellow pinewood floor. I need to catch my breath, you think, as you slump down on the carpet. Then you look up. Laughter is coming from behind the door. That's the sound of your mother's laugh, isn't it? You open the door and, to your surprise, step out onto a narrow metal bridge leading from the warehouse to another building that looks like a livestock barn. Grunts and squeals emanate from a couple of meters below to your left. The dark fog covering the ground hides whatever is making the sound, but you guess there are pigs. On your right, the ground slopes down quite steeply. But then, as the haze clears, you stare in awe. A vast wasteland stretching out below. The ground is charred, dusty, and full of rusty, sharp metal. Barbed wire and dirty plastics are scattered across the scene. Sickly gray and yellow smoke billows up from the soil, snaking towards the red sky, obscuring what can only be described as a huge black sun. In the distance, dirt rose winds through the landscape. People wearing black masks and red robes with unfamiliar symbols, carrying lanterns and smoldering censers, process towards an enormous black building on the red horizon. The wind carries a dissonant chant, an echoing hymn that reverberates through your body. You find yourself trembling as the cold chills snake up through your spine. You feel an excitement, a lust for something that you cannot name. The mist flows in and obscures your view, but you stand there for a moment, pondering what you just saw. You walk across the bridge and into the building. The animals' squeals reach deafening levels, and you cannot help but think of their wails as human-like pleadings, and the thought sends shivers down your spine. You're standing on a landing maybe 5 meters above the ground floor. Below, animals are driven through narrow livestock coral fences. Only their silhouettes are visible against the harsh blue backlight coming from the mounted construction lights. Now and then, the room below lights up from something bumping into an electronic fence. As the room lights up, you can see an intricate pattern painted on the walls. Dozens of spirals intersect each other amidst words in an unfamiliar language. As you watch, a silhouette appears on the other side of the landing. It's a man, but his naked torso and face are covered by patches of what looks like animal hide. As soon as he sees you, he attacks you, and you have but a fraction of a second to decide what you do. You turn around and leap off the landing. You manage to land in a spot where the animals won't run you over, but as you jump, you see the black marker pen fall out of your pocket and get lost in the chaos of the panicking pigs. You make your way through the stampeding livestock and enter a dark corridor. There's a pulsating orange light coming from a room at the end of the hallway. As you approach the room, you hear a grunting noise from inside. Treading carefully, you try not to draw attention to yourself as you peek into the room. The smell of ammonia and manure hangs heavy in the humid air. The floor is filled with dirty straw and littered with excrement. And in the middle of the room lies a giant sow. Its heavy body rises and falls with each wheezing breath. Piercing its back and all the way through to its belly is a long piece of rusty black metal that stretches up towards the ceiling in the form of a branch, with heavy chains and barbed wires wound around it. This must be the tree of iron, you think, as you feel the acidic breath from the enormous animal on your skin. The prayer should be where a piece of the tree is, that's what Julia said. The sow hasn't noticed you. It seems to be sleeping. You notice the large symbols burned into its belly before approaching it carefully, trying not to disturb its sleep. As you get close enough to decipher the symbols, you freeze. The burns, they writhe oddly, almost as if they're alive. The large symbol is in the shape of a hook inside of a circle of intricate patterns. The letters surrounding it are not familiar to you, but still, you hear yourself reciting words you've never heard. A feeling of reverence washes over you. Respect before something ancient, something holding the secrets of life, death, and the mysteries of pain. It is as if something's speaking through you, and the words tear through your throat as they are pushed out of your mouth. Then, before you see a hill with green grass and bubbling brooks. On the hill, there is a tree, but not black and rusty as you've come to know it. No, it gleams brightly, its branches catching the last rays of a setting sun. You repeat the words written on the creature's body silently to yourself, and you see the hook-like symbol clearly before you when you close your eyes. It's a prayer. and you know it by heart. Eva? You hear a voice croak. You're snapped out of your moment of reverence and turn towards the sound. There's a wooden cage with metal bars in the corner of the room that you didn't notice before. Something is moving inside the cage. You approach it cautiously and see the contours of a man sitting in the dark cage. He has dirty rags over his head and body, covering everything but his grimy, thin hand that reaches out desperately. "Eva?" he calls again, his voice cracking from excitement. "Eva, you came! Finally, you came! Listen, Eva, get out of here, now! Go back to the basement. The one in the house on Kopischweg 2. And get the nail. Use my name to find me again. Help me." You're confused. Who's Eva, you think? Who does he say that I am? You're about to answer him when you hear a grunting sound from behind you. You spin around and see the bloated sow open its eyes, staring at you. But they're human eyes. You watch the creature open its mouth. Something is moving inside of its maw, covered by red, black, thick sludge. It's a face. It's a face where the tongue should be. The head of a small child, bald, filled with scars, writhing and hissing as it snaps at you. This creature, it gets up slowly and lunges at you. But you manage to dodge it. You dart past it and run back into the corridor. You leave the room, violently shutting the heavy door behind you. The creature keeps crashing into the door, but it seems to hold. Your legs are shaking as you back away from the door. The note from Julia, you think. That will tell me how to get out of here. You tremble as you grab the crumpled up note from your coat pocket. Shit, the pen. It's gone, you think, feeling the panic creep in as the metal door quakes. What else can I use for paint? Blood. You look around for something to cut yourself deep enough to make the drawing. From one end of the corridor, you hear the creature trying to get through the door. Low voices come closer from the other end. You see no other option than to draw blood using a piece of broken rebar sticking out from the wall. You hurry up and draw the hook and circle symbol on the brick wall before beginning to read the note out loud. And nothing happens. At first. Then the brick wall collapses in a cloud of dust. The metal door bursts open and you hear the loud growl of the creature as it lunges towards you. From the other side of the corridor, strange shadows approach, but you make a narrow escape through the hole in the wall, and you're surprised by the quick arrival of a night bus. It's quiet behind you, and nothing follows you as you step into the bus and slump down in one of the seats. As it begins to drive off, you fall asleep in an instant. You fall asleep from exhaustion. This was episode 3 of our Kult Divinity Lost playthrough of the new scenario, Deep Waters, brought to you by Helmgast. If you would like to find out how your solo playthrough through this scenario would go, please find any links below in the description. If you like what we do and can't wait for next week's episode, please consider supporting us at patreon.com for ad-free and early access to upcoming episodes. Please leave a comment, a like, and subscribe so YouTube knows we're doing something right. Until next week, this is Lorefall. Thank you so much for listening.